Hello, for our third tech demo in this class, we will be dealing with a 9th grade English Language Arts class. There are 4 different 90-minute classes taught in each day, so 4 different classes, and they're all 90 minutes each. And each student has been reading a different novel that they chose, and they use those novels to apply it to the standard of analyze how complex characters, those with multiple or conflicting motivations, develop over the course of a text, interact with other characters, and advance the plot or develop the theme. An oral presentation about how the characters develop over the course of the story is what the assignment description is, and students currently use slideshows and index cards to give these presentations. So the goals of the teacher, he wants to be able to formally assess the students' abilities to analyze characters and thematic development, as well as formally assess the students' abilities to present orally. And he also wants to give students the ability to learn from each other. So he has them take notes once they are currently giving the oral presentations. The students in the class will take notes to then write a summary paper at the end of the assignments and once all the presentations are given. And he also wants to be able to give detailed feedback along with the formal summative assessment at the end. And the challenges that have been presented to him, the students don't like the oral presentations because a lot of them experience anxiety or they're uncomfortable to get up in front of the class. It's like a really nerve-wracking thing. And then the students that are watching the students give the presentations, they get bored very easily in the crowd and they're not listening 100% as the students are giving their presentations. And he has tried other versions of the assignment, but they weren't lucky because it was difficult to assess their literary analysis and oral presentation skills within the same project. So it's hard to overlap those. And students have a hard time remembering everything about every presentation. Just like I said, they take the notes, but it's still hard to remember everything that was presented to them. And then that in turn makes the summary paper difficult to write. And due to the amount of students, because he has the 4 classes of 90 minutes each, this assignment takes up a lot of class time and the amount of index cards adds up. So if every student has index cards as well as the notes from the students in the class, that just really tends to add up. The technology that I would recommend to this teacher is called Nearpod. And Nearpod is an online presentation tool that allows for students to work collaboratively as well as by themselves. It also allows for teachers to assess students. Okay, so this is what Nearpod looks like from the teacher's dashboard. So if you go up here, you can view your account and go to the settings and see what you have, because some of these things that I'm about to show you are on the premium plan and this is just the free plan, so I can show you the website. Okay, and if you go down here to create, you can create a lesson, a video, or an activity, or you can link a Google Slides. So the video option, I really like this if you were introducing the book reports of literary analysis to the students with a YouTube video, really in-depth describing it, that they can go back and visit to really, get a refresher on what they're actually supposed to do. And it has built-in questions. So even if it's just a video from YouTube, you can actually upload it and put in your own questions. So once it gets to, let's say, the 2-minute mark, there could be a question that is, encompassing the video and what they've learned in 2 minutes, just to assess if your students have been paying attention or if they need a little extra help. Okay, for the sake of this tech demo, I'm going to be showing you how to create a collaborative board just because it works better with the assignment that the teacher is wanting to give students. So you'll go down to create, and one of the drop-down options is lesson, so you'll click lesson. And then it opens up the groups of things that you can add within this lesson. So they have the create group, the interactive group, the quizzes and games group, the discussions group. So collaborative board is under discussions. So students can post their own videos, comments, all of that. So you'll have to click the collaborative board and then add over to the right. And then it'll open up a blank collaborative board. Okay, So here you can name it, describe to students what they have to do, and then over here to the left, you can add image, audio, or other media. So I like this once again if you could add like a YouTube video to show students how to do the assignment, or if the teacher is wanting to add in a previous oral presentation, given by a different class, perhaps the year before, or one that is a really good example. Students could watch that, make comments on it, take notes on it, just to really understand exactly what they're supposed to do. So down here, this is what it will look like if you just see the share your thoughts button down here from the student's point of view as well, but I will go to the student's point of view and show you exactly that as well. So, okay, so this is a student's point of view. And as you can see up here, there's stars because on this particular collaborative board, I made it to where students do not see the names of who makes comments, because if there is an oral presentation, it'll be a video of them. So when students do go to look at it, they'll still be able to see who it is. But I like the fact that it's anonymous because obviously over here, this is something that a teacher has posted. The Remember Students, Every Character Has Development. So although they know it's coming from the teacher, if other classmates also wanted to chime in, to help other students as well, it's not necessarily like putting them on the spot. Maybe they'll feel more comfortable to post it without their name attached to it. So if a student is ready to post their oral presentation, they'd go down here to videos and they would choose the file, upload, and then they could add in any video that they have on their computer, or they could upload it to YouTube first and then add it in that way as well. And one little extra thing I like is that students can like other students' posts. I really like that. It's just a little detail, but I think it would help make it easier for students to post these videos. And then also, this is where they post comments, obviously the pictures, videos, even the voice recording. If you were just wanting to do the oral part, you could just do the voice recording, and that sometimes even helps take away some anxiety for students. And the part of the literary analysis, they can upload any file they want to this collaborative board. So that's also nice. It's all in one neat area. So you for sure have the oral presentation part and the literary analysis part. Okay, so now we're back on the teacher's dashboard of a blank collaborative board. So over here, if you go to the left to student options, it'll bring down a drop box and you can allow students to see names. So if you would like them to post everything with their name attached, you have the complete power to do that. And then students can edit responses. I like leaving this one on because, everyone makes mistakes, and if they notice it later on, it's just easier to be able to go and edit it instead of making a whole new post. And then approving students' posts, I like this part because you do have the ability to watch a video to make sure, everything's appropriate, everything's working before students are able to as well. So I really like that part. I think that's a very smart thing to leave on. And you can also control what they do post in there. So if you think for this assignment that GIFs aren't needed, you can turn that off. They can't even add those in at all. Okay, and although, like I mentioned earlier, this is just the free version, it's not the premium version, I wanted to show you where to go to access some of the premium version settings. So you'll go up right here to the right-hand corner, click on that and enter lesson settings. And here it'll give you some options. So you can autofill students' names when they join a lesson, so they have to log in with their Google, which is nice because they can't put in their own name. So otherwise, they would just join with your code, and students do not have to create an account for Nearpod at all. It's just the code, and they're entered. They get to choose their own name. And then enabling students' notes, like I said, it is a premium feature, but sometimes the schools will pay for that, so that's nice if they do that. So the students' notes, they can take notes on anything in a lesson, collaborative board, anything like that. So I really like that. All of their thoughts are kept nice and neat. Okay, and if you scroll down here, you are sent to the student pace settings. So you can turn on requiring student responses and preventing skipping. So if you were to add a video, or anybody to add a video in a collaborative group, students have to watch that whole video before they can actually skip. So I really like that because it helps them try to, keep paying attention, knowing they have to finish it, allows them to hold themselves accountable. Okay, now we are on to how it applies to the goals. So Nearpod allows teachers to create a collaborative board, which I showed you, in which students can add comments, videos, pictures, etc. And this is, because I couldn't show you because it was the free version, this is just a picture I got off of Google of what it would look like to the students when they take notes during or in the lesson or collaborative board. So like I said, it allows students to take notes on all additions to the lesson or collaborative board. So it's just a drop down down here to the bottom, as you can see, and then it'll open up to the right and students can type whatever they want and it would be saved to that exact slide or post in the collaborative board. And it also doesn't allow students and teachers to be contacting like directly through the website or app. So that's kind of frustrating. But once again, earlier that I showed you the post the teacher made, they can post to the collaboration board or like an open-ended question, whatever they want to add in order to steer students in the right direction. So that's kind of some feedback you can give, but also you can take all this information that's in a neat, nice place and talk to them, give them feedback in person. Okay, and now we will be talking about how Nearpod addresses the challenges criteria. So if some students are nervous to present in front of the whole class, being able to post a video instead of presenting in front of a whole entire class could help relieve the stress. So it's easier to post a video that you can take in like the comfort of, somewhere in the school that's quiet, or maybe you can allow them to do it at home. That would be a lot less stressful on them. There's also an option to ensure that students can't skip videos on the collaborative board, which I had talked about previously when we were in the Nearpod website. And students can upload files, PDFs, etc., separate from their videos to ensure it is possible to assess their literary analysis and oral presentation skills. So if they did still use the slideshow when they're presenting their oral presentation, like he has done in previous years, they could post a slideshow like that as well, just on a separate post in the collaborative board, so it's all right there in the same place. And students have the ability to take notes on posts in the collaborative board. And to address the amount of index cards that are kept by the teacher at one time, there are no index cards needed, obviously, on this website, and every post is in a convenient, easy to find place. So if the teacher wants to go back and recheck something or to, check the progress of the students, he can just enter that and it'll all be right there. Thank you so much, and I hope you choose Nearpod.